You said last week that the U.S. would go in and dig out the buried nuclear material in
with them.
With them.
Right.
Did
That's
Iran
possible.
actually agree to that?
Well, it depends on what day you're talking about. They did agree, and
put
then
that on
sometimes
Friday.
they agreed. Well, that's what I'm saying. That's one of the things we talk about. It's very overrated. I'm the one that overrated it. I thought, to me, it was important. To other people, it's not important, because those beautiful B-2 right here, the B-2 bombers, they obliterated. You know, when CNN said maybe it was an obliteration, they knew. I mean, before the pilots even came back home, before anybody saw the site. But then the Atomic Energy Commission went. They said it was obliterated. That stuff is buried underneath a mountain that virtually collapses. Very, very hard to get it. But nevertheless, I want to get it. We're the only ones, us and probably China are the only two countries that have the equipment where you can do that. So, I want to get it. We have, at different times, they've changed their mind a couple of times. But as it stands now, we will go in at some time in the not too distant future. It's very safe down there. You know, with Space Force, we have cameras. Every angle of those three sites are being watched at all times. If anybody went there, we'll see exactly what's happening, and we'll blow it up a little bit further. But as far as getting it, the B-2 bombers did a job like nobody's ever seen. In the night, with no moon, dead darkness, at 1 o'clock in the morning or so, they dropped those bombs, just about as big a bomb as you can ever find, and it went down air chutes. It was hard to believe that they can do the technology. It followed a beam right into the air chutes, exploded. Very hard to get that material, but I still nevertheless want it. And I don't want to do it if we're in conflict. I don't want to put men in that kind of danger. I remember Jimmy Carter had some bad problems in Iran with the hostages. I don't want to ever put our people in that kind of danger. But when it's over, as of this moment, it's agreed that we will go in with them. We will get it, and we will destroy it. It will be destroyed. Frankly, they picked the wrong country, but maybe we're going to be getting along with Iran. We're going to find out. You know, there is a good possibility, I think, because without the bombing, that wouldn't have worked. Without the blockade is the most powerful thing. I think the blockade maybe has more impact than the bombing has. But the blockade that we have, the naval blockade, is incredible. Now, one ship has gotten through, unless we wanted it to, and people respect it a lot, and we'll see. But, you know, there's a chance if this really worked out, they could rebuild. You know, it used to be a very, very good nation. You go back, I have friends that old timers, they used to go there and they used to do well. They used to build in Iran. They built apartment houses and they built office buildings in Iran. Hard to believe, right? But there's a chance that maybe that comes back. But whether it comes back or not, I think we have a very powerful deal that we're negotiating. The exact opposite as the Obama deal. The Obama deal was a disgrace. It gave them a nuclear weapon. We do the exact thing. Under our deal, they will never, ever have a nuclear weapon. One of the other things that happens, and this is important, but there's nothing more important than taking away the capability of a nuclear weapon from Iran.
Konflik panas di Selat Hormuz belum juga mereda. Siapa sebenarnya yang menguasai nadi perdagangan dunia itu? Iran terus menempuh komunikasi dengan negara Oman sebagai negara yang juga berbatasan dengan Selat Hormuz. Lantas bagaimana dengan Amerika Serikat?
Kehadiran tentara Amerika Serikat di Selat Hormuz dirasa Iran sebagai ancaman bagi keamanan nasional Republik Islam Iran. Iran akan terus menunjukkan kepada Amerika Serikat dan dunia bahwa mereka mampu mempertahankan keamanan di wilayah mereka sendiri. Sementara itu, pihak Amerika Serikat tetap menganggap bahwa Selat Hormuz adalah perairan internasional hingga tidak ada yang boleh mengendalikannya.
دوره پیش رو جمهوری اسلامی ایران تدابیر رو اتخاذ خواهد کرد که با اون اتخاذ اون تدابیر و اجرای اون نسبت به صیانت از امنیت ملی و حاکمیت ملیش مطمئن بشه و در این چارچوب با کشور ساحلی دیگر تنگه هرمز یعنی عمان در ارتباط هستیم.
Ajakan Iran kepada Oman untuk bersama-sama menjaga keamanan di Selat Hormuz yang berbatasan juga dengan negara Oman dan Iran membuat Amerika Serikat seolah tidak terima. AS tidak akan membiarkan Iran ataupun Oman mengendalikan Selat Hormuz. AS bahkan tak segan-segan akan meledakkan Oman jika Oman ikut campur menguasai Selat Hormuz.
Strait's going to be open to everybody.
And who would control
It's international waters. Nobody's going to control it. We're going to watch over it. We'll watch over it, but nobody's going to control it. That's part of the negotiation that we have. They would like to control it. Nobody's going to control it. It's international waters, and Oman will behave just like everybody else, so we'll have to blow them up. They understand that. They'll be fine.
Para negosiator Amerika Serikat dan Iran sepakat memperpanjang gencatan senjata selama 60 hari. Namun Presiden Amerika Serikat Donald Trump dan pemimpin tertinggi Iran Mojtaba Khamenei belum memberikan persetujuan.
Para negosiator Amerika Serikat dan Iran telah mencapai kesepakatan memperpanjang gencatan senjata selama 60 hari yang akan memberi mereka waktu menegosiasikan mengakhiri perang secara penuh. Namun Gedung Putih mengatakan kesepakatan tersebut harus disetujui Presiden Amerika Serikat Donald Trump. Pimpinan tertinggi Iran, Ayatollah Mojtaba Khamenei juga belum memberikan persetujuan akhir. Pengumuman ini muncul ketika gencatan senjata saat ini antara kedua pihak berada di bawah tekanan setelah Amerika Serikat melancarkan beberapa serangan ke pelabuhan Bandar Abbas dan Iran membalas dengan menyerang pangkalan militer Amerika Serikat di Kuwait. Kesepakatan baru ini dapat meredakan ketegangan saat kedua pihak bersiap membahas isu-isu yang lebih pelik seperti program nuklir Iran dan pencabutan sanksi. Wakil Presiden Amerika Serikat, J.D. Vance, mengatakan Amerika Serikat dan Iran masih perlu menyelesaikan beberapa poin penting sebelum kesepakatan tentang perang dapat tercapai. J.D. Vance mengatakan para negosiator sedang bernegosiasi mengenai beberapa poin yang mencakup masalah pengayaan uranium. Amerika Serikat telah lama menuntut Iran menghentikan produksi uranium yang diperkaya tinggi dan membuang persediaan yang ada yang secara teori dapat digunakan untuk membuat senjata nuklir. J.D. Vance menyampaikan ada optimis dan percaya Iran bernegosiasi dengan itikat baik. Memorandum kesepahaman juga akan mencakup komitmen Iran terkait senjata nuklir. Masalah pertama yang akan dibahas bagaimana membuang persediaan uranium yang diperkaya milik Iran. Sejak gencatan senjata awal antara Amerika Serikat dan Iran mulai berlaku pada 8 April, Presiden Amerika Serikat Donald Trump telah berulang kali menyatakan kedua pihak hampir mencapai kesepakatan dan negosiasi sedang berjalan. Namun hingga saat ini belum ada hasil substantif. Kesepakatan perpanjangan gencatan senjata 60 hari ini diharapkan memungkinkan pengiriman tanpa batasan melalui Selat Hormuz tanpa bea atau biaya yang dikenakan Iran. Iran juga akan menghilangkan ranjau di Selat Hormuz dalam waktu 30 hari. Sebelumnya Iran telah mendorong biaya transit untuk jalur perairan di Selat Hormuz dan telah membahas proposal tersebut dengan Oman yang perairan teritorialnya berbatasan dengan Iran di Selat Hormuz. Namun Menteri Keuangan Amerika Serikat Scott Bessent mengancam akan secara agresif menargetkan Oman jika membantu memberlakukan sistem pungutan tol di Selat Hormuz. Sebagai bagian dari perpanjangan gencatan senjata, Amerika Serikat akan mencabut blokade angkatan lautnya terhadap pelabuhan Iran. Iran telah berupaya mendapatkan keringanan sanksi dan pencairan dana miliaran dolar yang dibekukan selama perundingan. Selama gencatan senjata, Amerika Serikat berkomitmen membahas keringanan sanksi dan pencairan dana. Memorandum antara kedua pihak mencakup pembahasan tentang mekanisme yang memungkinkan Iran menerima barang dan bantuan kemanusiaan.